In this video, we will talk about the My Classes screen and how to navigate through it. We will then learn how to create a student list for your classes, a seating chart, and a customized student report. When you log on to the Teacher Access Center, this area will display all the courses for which you are the teacher of record in the current marking period. However, if you are viewing your classes before the start of the school year, you may not see any of your courses listed here if the drop-down menu is set to current marking period, since you are not yet in a current marking period. Changing the view on this drop-down to All will make your courses visible for those courses that you are the teacher of record or a co-taught teacher. However, this view will also show you both your fall and your spring sections. The A section is fall and the B section is spring. During the school year, you may prefer to look at the attendance view, which will display only those courses for which you can take attendance that day. As you see, I lost my second period because this date happens to be a Wednesday, and this campus is on the modified block schedule. So I only take attendance first and third that day. Once again, before the school year begins, you may not be able to see your courses in this view. The grading view allows you to bring up all of the courses for which you are able to enter grades. During the school year, this is usually your best view and will allow you access to all your courses to enter assignments and scores. If any activities or student competencies have been created, you can select those from the menu here to view them. As you review your courses, you may notice that some of them have several sections which are linked, like this multiple classes one right here. Courses may have multiple sections, like this third period, if some students enrolled are co-taught, sheltered, dual credit, GT, or some other special programs. You will be able to take attendance with a combined link here, as you see, but your courses may be split into more than one section to enter scores and other information. So let's go into one of the courses by selecting this list hyperlink. Each of these student names is also hyperlinked, which by clicking on that allows me to view the student's summary screen. I can view contact information, schedule and attendance information, and other data on each student when I click on that student's name. At the top or bottom of the screen, you have links to the IPR summary, the progress report, the RC summary, report card, and test summary to view the students' grades in all courses and their performance on standardized tests. I'm going to use the close button here to get back to my list of students. And from this course roster screen, I may see various kinds of alerts for student. M for a medical alert, S is for special education classification, and A is for an academic alert. In this case, the academic alert is that the student has been coded at risk based on one of the 13 state criteria. I want to create right now a PDF document that gives me a list of my students that I can print. So from this class screen right here, I want to click on the report button. This automatically creates a very nice report that I can print with all of my students, their ID number, grade level, gender, and birth date. When you want to print this report, hover over the report until the Print Save bar appears and click on the print icon here. You will not use this print button, but the icon right here. I will use my back button to get back to this screen. Next, I want to see how to create a seating chart. So I'm going to click on the seating chart button right here, and I see that I have icons of all my students. I can select the number of columns and rows to match my classroom setup, but because I have students listed in 10 columns right now, it'll give me an error message to change this. So I'm just going to drag some of my students around to where I want to place them, and so I'm going to have my room set up. Right now it's going to be 5 by, let's say, 5. And you can see that my area now changes. I will click Save if I want to keep this seating arrangement, or I can click Reset and it will go back to my previous setup. And so I'm going to save it. And now if I want to print, I use the print button here and it creates a very pretty seating chart for me. One of the most useful things in this seating chart is once the school year starts and student photos are downloaded into eSchool, uploaded into eSchool, then this screen will display photos of the students in your classroom, which is very helpful for learning student names. If I want to print, again, I hover over it and click on the print button, or I can save this seating chart as a PDF document. So using my back button, I will go back to my class roster screen. And now let's look at how to create a customized report. I will use this next button, which says Show Options, and I have some choices to make. First, if I want to display students who have withdrawn from the class, I have that option, but in this case, I'm going to create like a homework report where I can check off students who have turned in their homework. So I won't want my withdrawn students, so I'll leave it set at None. Under Additional Columns, these items are already highlighted, but I don't want all of those, so I'll click off of them. I would like to have student ID, and using my control button, I'll also select grade, and I could put counselor on there in case I'm having problems with a student turning in their homework. I might want to contact their counselor, but in this case, I'll just leave those two selections. Checking on the display grid button gives me lines so that my columns and rows are divided by lines. Now I can choose how many columns I want to display. If I want to print off just one sheet for the current week, I might leave my columns at 5 or 4, depending on how many times my classes meet. Or I can make several weeks, so I'm going to select 15. And as you see, I immediately get 15 columns. You also have an option to display attendance dates at the top of each of these columns. So if I wanted the attendance date for each day that school is in session, I will choose that option, and they ask me to put a start date. So I'm going to put a start date of, May 5th. And it adds the attendance dates at the top of each column. Now to complete and create the report, just click on the Report button. Now you have a customized report with the attendance dates displayed. Remember once again to use the print icon here to print your report for use.